Hey, one more thing before you go. In this episode, Diane and I are going to dive into the wildly popular series on Max, The White Lotus, and dissect season 3 so far. It's not over yet. What makes this show such a cultural phenomenon? Is it the decadent settings, the razor sharp social commentary, or the unforgettable characters? Let's break it down together. I'm your host, Michael Hurst. I'm here with my lovely wife and co host, Diane.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to One More Thing Before You Go over the Teacup Sunday. Hey, Diane.
Hello, Michael.
It's gonna be a short episode tonight. I'll
Yes,
warn everybody, but we're here. We're 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 here.
we're here. We're just going to say we're here.
Well, we had an excellent, outstanding brunch this afternoon. We made our first crepes together. Our what do they call them? Savory crepes,
Yes,
because
because
they're
we
not
had
really.
eggs.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
you had steak tips and cheese and onions
stick
and
tip
mushrooms
and eggs.
and
Yeah,
eggs, and I had eggs
lots of
and
cheese.
lots of cheese. I had eggs and Beyond sausage and mushroom and onions and vegan cheese. And we did it all in a gluten-free crepe
Hmm.
because the crepe that I had at this, well, I probably shouldn't say the name.
No.
We have a new restaurant in town that we've been waiting for, dying to go to because it had,
Hmm.
boasted it had gluten-free crepes, which I haven't had in like years and years and years. And
Hmm.
we went there and it wasn't. Diane's was great.
Mine was really good. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I want to go back and have some of the dessert crepes.
yeah,
Crepes.
and
Dessert
they look
crepes.
fantastic. And the service, like
Yeah.
I'll just say, it is sweet Paris. And
Well,
the
this,
reality is that the service was great, the
yes,
atmosphere was great, the restaurant was
everything's great.
clean. Yeah,
Yep.
nice and clean and
Yep.
very friendly and everything.
Very friendly.
They just need to work on their. They could use some improvement in the gluten free area.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
but
And that happens. That happens at a lot of restaurants.
happens a lot of restaurants. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll next time we'll talk about it in specific, and then we can share that episode with the management, and maybe
Yeah,
they'll
there you go.
yeah, we'll show them some of
Yeah.
ours and say, look at the difference. I will do
Yeah.
it in French.
'Cause-
Think that will make
well,
an
you
extra
could.
impact.
I mean, you're learning how to speak French too, so
Exactly. It's all about the being romantic in the restaurant, correct?
yes. Or C. No.
We
Oui.
réservé.
Oui.
Oui.
I'm learning Italian, you're learning French, and I keep mixing them all up. Okay.
It's all good. Well,
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about the White Lotus because we've been a fan of it so far. We've talked about the White Lotus in the past,
Mhm.
but we haven't had a chance to do, season 3, with which we're about two-thirds of the way through. Not because we're lazy, but because the next episode hadn't been released yet. It's going to be released
Right.
tonight, so
We're
that's what we're
caught
doing.
up.
We're caught up
We're
on it.
caught
Yeah,
up.
for a
Yeah.
change, we're
Yeah.
caught up. It's kind of
Let's,
cool. For
yeah.
those of you who might be new to the series, The White Lotus is a biting satirical drama that unfolds at luxury resort locations across the globe. Each season focuses on the interactions between the wealthy vacationers and the hotel staff, exposing privilege, class tension, and moral dilemmas, often with explosive results. It was created by Mike White. The show has become a favorite for its dark humor, unpredictable twist, and brilliantly crafted character. Say that really fast. Brilliantly
Brilliantly crafted.
crafted
Crafted.
characters.
Brilliantly crafted. Brilliantly crafted. Brilliantly crafted.
Brilliant. No, I mean the whole sentence. Brilliantly
Brilliantly
crafted
crafted
characters.
character. Okay. Brilliantly crafted characters. Brilliantly crafted characters. Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. I don't feel
No.
too bad. I don't feel too bad.
But it is. It's brilliantly crafted characters.
It is.
That's why
Now,
everybody loves the show.
I forgot where they were the first season.
Maui.
No, that was second season.
No, the second season was Italy.
No, was it?
Yeah.
I thought the first season was Italy, second season Maui. Yeah, because
No.
well, Well, here's the deal.
I don't think so.
Th-
I'm like 90% sure it went Maui and Italy and now Thailand.
just a moment.
Yeah, let's make sure.
So yeah. I think because Maui's, I mean, we love Maui. We've talked about Maui on the show
Hmm.
numerous times. We are fans of Maui. We love Maui. It's like a home away from home.
We would love to move to Maui.
Yes, we would absolutely. And then the second season was filmed in Sicily, Italy,
Hmm.
which is obviously another location that we really want to visit. We've not
Yep.
visited there before, but
Hmm.
there's family there from this one side of the family, and yeah, we want to visit there. We want to see it,
Hmm.
and the resorts that they choose are like amazing resorts.
Yeah. I
But I
think honestly, for me, I think that's the main reason I like to watch the show are the
well, yeah,
locations.
because they're on
I
location.
mean,
They're not in a
yeah.
studio, which is
Mm,
like awesome. And then this season's actually in Thailand, and it's
yeah.
all over Thailand and Bangkok and things like that. And beautiful, again, beautiful
So
location. I think
cool.
Mike White is smart when he created a series that travels globally and said,
Hmm.
we can't shoot this on a sound stage. We have to shoot this on location.
Yeah. It was pretty brilliant in that.
Yeah. Pretty slick with
Hmm.
it, I think. And again, we kind of, in looking at this, I wouldn't mind visiting Thailand.
No, not at
I
all.
mean, it looks very beautiful in the areas
All
that
the
they are.
monkeys. I love all the monkeys.
Maybe the monkeys did it.
I don't know.
Although
We'll have to find out.
Michelle Monaghan came on, Jimmy came on and said, I can let you know that for sure the
Monkeys
monkeys didn't do
didn't
it.
do it.
So we'll see.
They saw who did it, though.
They are witness to the carnage.
They are witnesses to the crime. Yeah.
But I mean, I think we love the intrigue, we love the
Hmm.
suspense, we love the characters. The casting has been brilliant. In this season, it actually has cast members that overlap from the first season, which was a unique twist.
Well, there's like two of them. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I have
Yeah.
characters in it.
Hmm.
So season three takes us to the stunning destinations of Thailand, Bangkok, and beyond, immersing viewers in the drama, mystery, and the chaos that seem to follow guests at the White Lotus. We're not we're not going to give anything away. We're not going to give any spoilers away. We may, if we do, we give you a little quick disclaimer. Say, hey, if you haven't seen this part of it, this episode, please come back to this afterwards, I guess.
Right.
But we're going to explore some of the plot, the highlights, the standout moments, and the speculate about where things we might be heading, because I think that's what we're supposed to do. I mean, we always like to speculate, don't we?
Yeah. We speculate through everything we
We
watch.
do.
We try to guess at the end. Every show we watch, we're like, wait, this is what I think is going to happen. This is okay. This is what they're doing. This is why they're saying
This is
that.
why they're doing it exactly,
And
and
we're
and
right probably 90% of the time.
we are. We should be detectives. We
But
should have a TV show of our own
we should.
instead
No,
of the husband wife
it's too
lawyers.
exhausting.
The husband and wife law team that those
Yeah.
commercials we always see on ABC 15,
Yeah.
right? We could
Yeah.
be the husband and wife. Well, I was going to say something really funny, but I'll say a husband and wife detective team,
What were you gonna say?
husband and wife dick team. We could both be
Oh.
dicks. And the and
Well,
the
I'm sure there are times when we're both acting that way, so sure.
and look, as a retired police sergeant, and one time I was a dick detective for a little while. Took a take home car and all that good stuff. That's a nickname for
A
detectives in the
detective.
police
Right.
department. So
Right.
yeah, kind of works. The series boasts an
Um,
exceptional cast, including stars who deliver unforgettable performances, like we had said. In like season one was Coolidge. What did I forget her
Jennifer
name?
Coolidge.
Jennifer Coolidge.
Jennifer Coolidge. Well,
Yeah,
season one and two.
and two. Yeah,
Yeah.
and kind of. Well, we won't spoil it.
Mm, mm,
But yes, it makes season one and season two. Jennifer Coolidge was there
mm.
because she did come daily. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah, I
mean,
forgot
she
about
came
that.
and went.
Yes, she did. So
So,
it is this one is has got a stellar cast within itself. You'll recognize
yeah.
just about everybody in the cast, no matter what age level you're at. You're going to recognize some of the characters.
Hmm.
Again, it's set in Thailand, and it's a mixture of new and returning talent, as we just said. Leslie Bibb
Hmm.
is plays Kate Bauer. Carrie Coon as Laura Duffy. Walton Goggins, or Goggins, pardon me, is
Walter
Rick
Goggins.
Walter Walton Goggins.
Walter Goggins.
I'm having a hard time with words today.
You are.
As Rick Hatchett, Sarah Catherine Hook as Piper Ratliff, Jason Isaac as Timmy Ratliff. Um, is it
Parker Posey.
not just Piper Posey?
No, Parker
Oh,
Posey
Piper Posey. Piper is the name of the.
is the name of the daughter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Michelle Monaghan as Jacqueline Lemon. She plays a celebrity that basically is trying to get away from the public for a little while, and she's an aging celebrity, as they say it, and she's trying to kind of re-examine herself and her life point the way she's at.
Hmm.
Sam Nivola is Lachlan Ratliff, and then Parker Posey is Victoria Ratliff. We'll talk about her just a little bit
Yeah.
because it's a different kind of a character for her. Um,
Yeah.
and then it's really interesting because the Belinda Lindsay is returning from season one, and that was the Maui season, and
Hmm.
she shows up in this one, and so does one of the other characters shows up in this one, and there's kind of a
Hmm.
crossover there, but we won't give that away as to why.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't seen the series at all, you really need to watch season one to really understand the dynamics with that.
And two.
And two, yeah,
And, and season two.
and two. Patrick
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger is Cedric Radcliffe or Saxon Radcliffe, and
Hmm.
obviously that's Arnold Schwarzenegger's kid, and he does a
Hmm.
pretty good job.
Yeah, he's a character you love to hate. You just want to
Yeah,
smack him. I just
although
want to smack him.
he got knocked down a few pegs, and
Yes,
then
he did.
Sam Rockwell.
Yep.
Sam
Oh,
Rockwell's in this as well. So
I love me some Sam Rockwell. And man, does his character just kind of like,
yeah, his
I don't
character
know,
kind of went off the wall.
lets out some secrets. Lets out
He left out some major secrets.
some secrets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of one of those things where
Eh,
you go, well,
What?
especially and the reaction from his best friend is kind of
The
like a
scene partner, Walter
yeah.
Goggins. His his reaction was,
It
oh
looked
my God.
very
We literally we were laughing so hard at his reaction, we literally had to stop the show 'cause we were laughing
very.
so
His
hard.
reaction was very very real. It
It was
almost
very
acted like
real.
it was like he Sam Rockwell had the scene,
Hmm.
or it was given a different scene than Goggins was given, and
Something like that. I mean, that's
yeah,
what it seems like. It seems like
he was
Walter Goggins had
completely
no idea what was coming. It
yeah.
was great.
It was
Whatever
kind
it
of
was, it was great. It was a
like
great scene.
it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's how do you think the characters in this White Lotus, the
Hmm.
archetypes that are here, do you think that they reflect the same as the thing that the class separation, because you see a
Oh
very
yeah,
distinct in all of these
yeah. In all of them.
the seasons, you see a very distinct
Hmm.
class separation, distinction
Hmm.
between the classes, the upper class, the lower class, the working class,
Yeah,
the privileged
I
class.
definitely saw that in season one and season three. I can't remember in season two if there was a lot of that, but there must have. Oh yeah, there was.
Yeah,
There was.
well, along
Yeah,
with the family dynamics.
that seems to be the central theme for uh, Mike White to write about. And it's
Well,
interesting. I wonder why.
yeah.
But um, yeah, I think I'm kind of enjoying this season more than season two, even though the scenes in Italy were just no, I loved it. I want to go there so bad. But I don't know. I feel like I'm more into this season. And it's funny because I heard a lot of people saying they weren't as into this season and that it was really slow and they thought that it was kind of over or something. I've loved it from the
From
beginning.
the
So,
beginning. Well, I mean,
I don't know.
I've listened to some of the same discussions that were going on around it as well, and a lot of them have said it started out slow, but then it picks up about midpoint, and
I
after like
I
by season four, it picks up. Not
you mean
season four, excuse me, episode
episode
four.
four.
It picks up a little bit, and then from then on, you're kind of hooked. And you know what? It's interesting because Mike White has They explore relationship between the characters and the relationship like family. It's always
Hmm.
the hierarchical between the rich and the poor, the working class and the privileged, in family dynamics as well. There's in every
Hmm.
season you see a mixture of all of that. So I think it's nice because you're not stuck with just one aspect. You're stuck with, wow, this is kind of real life because I'm sure this goes on in all aspects of all of that.
Hmm. Yeah.
And in anywhere you go, you're going to see that dynamics. You could sit in a restaurant, you could sit in a nice restaurant,
Hmm.
and you can see the people who kind of are more comfortable in that nice fancy restaurant, and the people
Right.
that are showing up to that fancy restaurant for the first time because they feel uncomfortable being in that fancy restaurant, but they're there for a special
Hmm.
reason. And
Yeah.
then you see the ones that are there going, I don't know why that table of people are even here. Why are they
Hmm.
sitting next to me?
Or the way they treat the staff.
Or the way they treat the staff. Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. So, and you can tell that in the way the staff reacts too, because you can see the difference in the staff, in the wait staff especially. You see a difference in how they're handled and how they approach a table and how they, take the orders and stuff like that. And I think that him exploring the relationship between all the characters in those hierarchies and the family dynamics or the romantic dynamics and anything along those lines, I think are a unique approach to, and I think that's what keeps the series going, I guess, because you kind of never really know what's going to completely happen,
Well,
and
I think it allows the viewer to see themselves in some situations
yeah,
or see family members or, friends or I think it just I think that's why we're all so drawn into it because we can relate to so much of it at one point or another. And maybe some people get so much out of it that they can change from it.
yeah, I
Who
agree with
knows?
that. And I think that the White Lotus also examines, I think, the tensions between the privileged and the wealth disparity at such a point that you kind of in this season, or at least in this I think the first episode, the episodes that we've seen, I think we're on what are we on, episode 6 or 7?
I think
7, I
we've been
think.
through I think this one that's on tonight is 7.
Yeah, I think
Is it
that's
tonight?
7. Yes,
Is it
tonight.
tonight? Okay. Yeah.
Um, the I think the Thailand aspect of it really kind of emphasizes a lot of it as well. Even the owner of the resort, she's nothing but she comes out and shows her power and her wealth by having the bodyguards and trying to mingle with everybody, but it seems like false.
Yeah.
Mingle. Oh,
It
I'm so
seems very
happy
fake.
that you're here and everything. But then when they start to have a converse with her, it's kind of like well, I don't have time for you. I got to move on because I'm
Right. Right.
just here to seem like I'm doing something for you. I
Yeah.
think I kind of see that in this one. I don't
Yeah.
think I saw that as much in 1 or 2. I think that
Mm-mm.
the staff and the people kind of the staff and the guest, I should say, because what you see is a combination of guests that come in that are of different privilege levels. Some that
Mm-hmm.
are there that really can afford the huge suites,
Mm-hmm.
and you see people there. And same thing with Italy, same thing with Hawaii. All of them,
Mm-hmm.
the ones that, like I said earlier, they go in and we've had the privilege. You and I have had the privilege of being in suites. We've also had the
Mm-hmm.
privilege, or as I say, not the privilege. We've had the experience that we ended up staying in a very seedy motel that they professed to be a hotel that in reality was a piece of crap motel
Yeah.
that
There's been a few of those actually.
yeah, it just kind of
There's been a
like
few
what
of
a
those.
surprise when we thought we were booking something else. But that I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we stayed what we did, but we also took those off our list. Like we'll never come back to there again,
Yeah. Never,
and
ever,
so
ever
forth.
again.
But
Mm-hmm.
we also understand that having a suite is always when we were doing the conferences, especially.
Mm-hmm.
We got a suite out of that, and it was nice to have that extra privilege. It was nice to have that extra space. It was nice
Yeah.
to have the staff cater to us to a particular point. But at the same time, we also understand we weren't born of wealth. We were not
No.
made of money. We were
No.
working class like everybody else that was there.
Yeah.
Kind of,
It actually felt. I mean, it was kind of nice, but it felt weird. It didn't feel. I was not 100% comfortable with being catered to. Like it just felt
Strange.
off to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this I think this season between Maui, if you haven't watched it before, again, you really need to watch season 1 and 2 to understand season 3 and some of the dynamics that are mixed in with season 3.
Hmm.
But I think that the diversity of where he's going from Maui, I mean, he's back into a tropical spot, basically.
Hmm.
He went from
Hmm.
tropical to European back to tropical. But
Hmm.
Thailand is different tropical than Hawaii is different tropical. Hawaii's laid back and, sure they have their customs and they have traditions and so forth, but it's more of a, it's more of a surfer mode. I
Hmm.
can't do the my hands won't let me do the
Hmm.
Hawaiian signs, but
Right.
it's more of a laid back, relaxed atmosphere.
Hmm.
Whereas Thailand, you see a lot of, well, remember the shot that you loved, where he's driving down the road he's in a taxi, and
Hmm.
or a boat. Was it the boat? Yeah, it was on the boat, and they came around the corner and they're going down the small river canal, and the big, huge Buddha, just
Yeah.
golden Buddha,
Yeah.
popped up
With
over
just
everything.
just right there. It,
Yeah.
it was really surprising, but it was so cool.
So you
Yeah.
see a lot
It
of
was really
that,
cool.
and the guards at the gate when you come in there, they,
Hmm.
nod their heads and namaste and
I do wonder though. Mike White wrote in a lot of nightlife partying in this season. Like it's almost too much. I mean, I'm not one to go out and do any of that. So maybe it's just not my scene, but my God, how much can he how it's like two entire episodes it feels like was all them drinking and
yeah,
partying and drugging and the music that was just insanely loud and
yeah. I didn't like
I
that
guess
part
I'm
of it.
really I guess I'm old. I'm just officially old because I did not enjoy that part.
Well,
Like,
and
can we just
and
stop the partying already?
and to be honest, we've got a surround sound system, so with a
Yeah,
surround sound system on in 5.1 Dolby, the party scene seemed like it was in our living room.
it was very loud and obnoxious, and I did not like it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't know if that's a thing for Thailand. Maybe it's really a party place. I don't know. But
I think portions of it
whew,
might be because obviously, they went from that the resort that they're staying at is supposed to be a wellness resort anyway. They're alleged to be a
right. So there
wellness
wasn't a
resort.
lot. There wasn't a lot of partying at the resort. They had to
Yeah.
go other places to
In fact,
party.
they had to give up their phones.
Yeah,
That's a little
to go
secret
to
we're giving away.
for the resort. Yeah,
Yeah, but if you go to a
yeah,
wellness resort, that's what they do anyway. So if anybody's ever been
right.
to one, we're not giving that secret away because they tell you to take they try to take your phones and they give back to you at the end, so that you don't have distractions. You can concentrate on wellness and health and you know.
I would love it. That is. Oh my God! Can I please just go to one of those places so I don't have to deal with anything?
You'd be getting a phone call in the room saying, "Can you please come get your husband? He's trying to break into the bag in the
For the
office.
phones, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
You come pick him up,
Yeah,
please. Thank you very much. Have a nice
yeah,
day. Namaste."
because your husband's addicted to his phone. Yes, I'm aware. Thank you.
Oh, I'm just all business. It's
Okay.
business. It's business.
Hmm. Okay.
Business and business. So let's get back to the show. What do you think? Some of the clues and the red herrings that the show's signature. I mean, in every season, they do a lot of clues, a lot of red herrings, and they build the show's signature intrigue.
Yeah.
You can count on that through each season.
Yeah.
Mike White does a really good job, and his team. Obviously it takes a team. Mike White and his team do a very good job of creating the clues, creating the red herrings,
Hmm.
and really I think that's his signature because it still
Yeah.
creates intrigue because there's things that we know about and we sit on the couch going like you did. Look
Hmm.
here, look here. Hey, 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 stop, look at that. Look over here. Turn around, turn around.
It's over. And I was naming where this could be found. I was screaming it at him. Like,
But he wasn't
like, hurry!
listening.
It's right there! It's right there! It's right there!
Yeah.
I think that, well, he obviously Mike White does this every time. that he creates this whole cast of it could be almost anybody that
Yeah.
commits the crime. And then there's some that's like, oh, that's too easy. There's no way that's that person. It's just too easy. That
Well,
would be
some
a really, let down at the end if that was that person. So, and I can think of a few of them that I'm kind of hoping it's not because it would be kind of a letdown. I'm really hoping for just a huge surprise, like
well, and
you
I
know.
think so too because he opens it with a really. Now, this is a spoiler disclaimer. Spoiler. Spoiler.
Hmm.
Spoiler. Spoiler. And I think it's in one of the trailers, so it might not be that much of a spoiler if you watch the trailers. But in reality, he opens it with
With
a
the crime.
very with a body,
Yeah,
but you don't know who the body is.
yeah.
So it's like a Knives Out or a Clue, the show or the game Clue,
Hmm.
the movie Clue, where you open up with a body, you have all these suspects that it could be. You have motives that start growing throughout this the season, throughout each
Hmm.
one of these episodes. You're kind of going, well, maybe it's this person, and then you start seeing more motive come out, and other people go, well, maybe it's that person, and
Right.
like you were saying, it builds the intrigue to go. It could be any number of these individuals
Hmm.
that could be doing this, but they don't give enough away to go because you and I do this, and we've talked about this on the show before. You and I, we're armchair look cop, and you were married to a cop.
Hmm.
We sit on the couch during cop shows, and we figure it out. And sometimes you figure it out quicker than I do. Sometimes I figure it out quicker than you do.
Hmm.
But either way, we both figure it out, or we figure it out together. And it's always, yeah,
Right.
this is going to happen. That's going to happen. It's this person. It's that person. This is why.
Hmm.
So I think he does a really good job with the team. He and the team. They do the writers. The people who plot this out and everything. He's obviously the writer and director, etc. But he doesn't write the episodes all by himself.
Right.
They do a really good job of keeping the intrigue, keeping the mystery, without spoiling it.
Yeah.
And I think that the twists that are popping up, some of the twists are expected, but some of the twists are really unexpected.
Hmm.
And they kind of
It's
catch you off
yeah.
guard a little bit, which I like.
Um, he keeps us guessing for sure, and that's been every season. So he's really good about just being able to keep us guessing and trying to figure it out. And um, yeah, it's
Yeah.
um, I don't know. I have some ideas of who it might be, but um, I don't. There's just too many.
Well, and some of the ones of the ideas that I thought they were, it turned out that they they wouldn't have the guts to do it. When you thought they would, and they had motive, and then you kind of go, well, I can see now that, and
Hmm.
I think you know who I'm talking about. That
Hmm.
I don't have the guts to to follow through with something like
Right.
what happened,
Right.
or how the body
Hmm.
ended up in the beginning. Um,
Except we still don't even know who the body is either.
yeah, we don't know who the body is.
Hmm.
And it's interesting the contrast between the staff and the guest and how in each one of the seasons, but particularly in this one, how the stories intersect between the resort guest and the staff.
Hmm.
In Maui and in Italy, they had a lot of that, but I think it's more so in this particular one. I think there's more at stake in this
Um,
one between the staff and the guest. I mean, that's just my
yeah,
observation.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Um, well, there would have been, but something, the staff was able to, a member of the staff was able to get something back that one of the guests had. And
Well, there's
so
also
that
some other
that
interactions
kind of,
between the guests that I think that where one of them stepped over the line. There's some ones that step over the line with some of the guests that really shouldn't have stepped over the line and that kind of a thing. So I do think there's a little bit more interaction. That
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about.
um, um, let me mental telepathy you.
Meant to mentally telepathize me.
They mentally
Telepathize.
telepathicize you. Are you feeling it
Uh,
yet?
no,
Okay,
no, I don't have a clue
but
what you're talking about.
this resulted
That's
from a
okay.
party. It resulted from the party. It resulted in somebody crossing the line, two people crossing the line actually that shouldn't have, and then it created trouble between three of the characters.
But I'm not. I don't staff. That the part of the staff is.
You'll
I
know
don't.
who I'm
Okay.
talking about. Think of
All
three
right. Well,
characters.
we'll have to talk. We'll have to talk after the show because
Okay,
I
we'll
don't
stop.
know.
We'll just do that after
Okay.
the show.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think about the visual and aesthetic appeal of everything? I
Oh, I
mean,
love it. I love every season. They do so much. Um, they show you the area so much, and I love that. I feel like, I mean, it kind of draws you in. Feel you kind of feel like you're there. I
yeah,
mean, I think it's more. I feel like more like I wish I was there than I feel like I'm there. But it's the cinematography on these is just
it's great.
mind blowing. Yeah.
I think that the visual storytelling from the opulent resorts settings to the
Hmm.
cinematography, like you just said, the whole aesthetic within it, I think really creates or contributes to the mood and the
Yeah.
themes of the show. You kind of get to experience this. What I like about it, you kind of get to experience the area, the resort,
Hmm.
the beauty of the area that you're in. When we were
Hmm.
in Maui, it brought us back memories for us. It brought us back some memories.
Hmm.
In Italy, we went. I absolutely want to visit there, especially after seeing
Hmm.
this and what the architecture and the beauty of everything and the history of everything. And now
Hmm.
in Thailand and Bangkok, you kind of go. I never thought I wanted to visit Bangkok, but after watching the show, I think that we both agreed that we would visit Bangkok if we ever visit Thailand. We would
Hmm.
absolutely visit Bangkok.
Well, the city, the busy part of the city and stuff like that. Yeah, for maybe a day, but yeah, I don't think I'd
Yeah,
want to do. I like the resort type, the wellness
yeah.
retreat type slowness of that. That's more
We
my
would do.
speed.
I
But
agree. We would do the same thing.
yeah.
We probably stay at a resort like that, and then go down
Hmm.
and visit for a day or an
Hmm.
evening. Go down and visit Bangkok from
Yeah.
that perspective and how to kind of. But
I
this
hope
is
I I hope the earthquake didn't. We're trying to figure out if the resort got hit by the earthquake or
yeah. I hope
any of
not
that. But
because obviously they're still. I don't know if they've wrapped everything and they're just editing stuff right now. I don't know if they're still shooting or not. I haven't. I
mm,
didn't find any information in regard to that.
isn't
Seems
isn't tonight's episode the last episode?
no. There's like
Oh, there's more.
two more. I mean,
Uh,
tonight's and then one
oh,
more.
there.
Um,
I think they would have been wrapped, or we would have heard by now.
Yeah, because there's only eight. I think it's
You
only
know.
eight episodes.
Yeah.
How do you think they compare the tone, the theme, in the execution of season three? How do they compare to season one and two? You said this was your favorite one so far, and why?
I don't know if it's my favorite one. I just, you know, other people started watching it before we did, and I was disappointed because everybody was saying it was slow and they didn't like it as much and thought that, the whole thing had lost its edge, and I just didn't see that. I've enjoyed it from the beginning. I don't know that I have a favorite. They're very similar. All three of them are very similar in a lot of ways, but then they're very different in a lot of ways. So, I don't know. I guess for the storyline and the stuff that happened, I didn't like Italy as much. Maybe just a little bit less,
Uh,
um,
hmm,
but not much less.
how much less?
Yeah.
I think that what I like about the White Lotus in what Mike White and his team do is they create the atmosphere, they create the tension, they create the dynamics, they
Hmm.
create a mixture of intrigue, um, thrilling, fun, visually appealing. I think that the places that they take us, we get to see some beautiful areas. We get to see some history. We get to see and learn because you learn
Hmm.
a little bit anyway from what we're watching. You get to learn
Hmm.
some of the cultural aspects of where they're at and why they are. So I don't know if I like any episode better or any season better than the other. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it because it gives us an opportunity to not only do we get to participate in trying to figure out who done it,
Hmm.
because we love who done it,
Hmm.
but we get the opportunity to understand different cultures and different locations
Hmm.
that we kind of go, yeah, I'd like to go there. I want to visit there, and we want to
Yeah.
go back to Maui. This intrigued me to want to go back to Maui.
Hmm.
Maybe not that resort because obviously people were murdered at that resort. So
On the show, on the
well, yeah,
show.
but see if we tell enough
But
people that, then we can get our pick of sweets.
that's true. That's true.
They go, somebody
Yeah.
died there. Wait a minute, we don't
I
want to
mean,
stay there.
it's not that I wouldn't want to go back to Maui because obviously I'd love it, but I
Yeah.
want to go somewhere we've never been.
I,
That
I
would,
do too. I mean, obviously we want to go to France. We want to go to Italy.
and
I mean, there's so many
Italy.
things. We want to go to Greece. We want to go
Hmm.
everywhere.
I know.
How do you think the White Lotus addresses like broader societal issues beyond wealth and privilege, such as like gender relationships or morality? Because I think they really, we know they touch upon the wealth and the privilege. We know they touch a little bit upon gender, but or relationships, but they also touch on gender and morality as well.
Hmm.
How do you think they do it well? Do you think they overdo it? What's your approach on that?
Well, like I said earlier, I think that when they bring these issues to light, I think people can relate to some of it, and
Yeah,
they've seen it in their own lives, and so they can, hopefully, some people have seen themselves as the characters that aren't so great, the not so nice characters, and maybe they see a little bit of themselves, and they're like, oh man, wait, that's something I would do, or that's something I have done. Maybe I need to take a step back and change a little bit,
change.
which would be
Yeah.
great. Um, no, I think he addresses all the societal issues really well. I mean, there's some of them are shocking, but you know,
I wonder.
I mean,
That begs
it's
a
it's
question.
interesting.
Do you think the billionaires are watching the White Lotus?
I don't know.
Uh,
I don't know.
or
That's
they don't
that's
have
an interesting
time?
question. That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do they have
If
time to
they
watch
if
the
they
White
did if
Lotus?
they did tune in, I don't think they probably saw themselves right away and didn't like it, so they probably turned it off.
You think maybe?
Yeah,
Or
they
they
can't they
didn't.
can't
They went.
they
Well,
can't take the
that's not
they
real.
can't take reality.
That didn't happen.
Right.
Well, I mean, the whole season, the whole show itself, I think shows it. I think it kind of shows us a little bit more about human nature in the extreme or in isolated environments, what
Hmm.
we are capable or incapable of doing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think that overall, in my opinion, as we wrap this up, I think that if you love intrigue, you love mysteries, you love thrillers, you love locations, you
Hmm.
love historical aspects, you love conflict and like see resolution, you love romance, a little bit of romantique is in this.
I think
Um,
I think for that, probably Italy was more of the they hit more on of the romance part of the second season. I haven't seen too much romance in this one.
yeah, not read. Yeah, I think it's
No,
more moralistic. We were talking about morals earlier, and then lines
it's
crossed
yes.
and things like that.
This
I,
this
I,
this this season is very much about
yeah.
that, about crossing lines and
Which is
morality
interesting
and things.
because when you look at the wellness and you see the Namaste, you see the Buddhist, you see Buddhism, you see
Hmm.
a monastery there, in the environment there, you see a monastery. And you kind of look at the difference between the monastery and the nightclubs, which is that's completely opposite. Theoretically, that's
Yeah.
completely opposite from each
Hmm.
other, but they still coexist,
Hmm.
which is interesting that they show coexistence.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think.
Yeah.
uh, I would say my thing is thumbs up. Watch it. If you haven't
Mm.
caught up with it yet, catch up with it. If you haven't seen season one or two, absolutely see season one or two because it'll lead you into season three. And
Yep.
if you're watching season three, look forward to tonight. If you are questioning whether or not you're going to watch season 3 because of what you've heard, I'd say jump in and
Watch it.
watch it.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. It's interesting that we're talking about this because the National Day for today, there's a few different things, but what struck me was it's National Virtual Vacation Day.
Virtual
And
vacation day.
and you kind of feels when you watch White Lotus that you're taking a virtual vacation.
That's ironic. That's pretty damn cool,
Isn't that?
actually.
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah.
cool, huh?
Wait, what are you doing tonight? We're going on a virtual
Virtual
vacation.
vacation.
Thank you very much. Where are you going?
Very cool.
Thailand. Bangkok.
Yep.
Well, that works. Well, this is one more thing before you go. Anything you'd like to share before we leave?
Oh, just that it's National Virtual Vacation Day. That's all.
I would like to share that we thank you very much for being a part of One More Thing Before You Go community. We appreciate your connecting. And for those of you that reached out to me and want to come on the show, I appreciate you. I will get back to you very soon. And if you or if you like the show or you love the show, please like, subscribe, and follow. Please share it with your friends. And please send us any questions that you have, even about this show, or reach out if you want to come on the show and want to talk about something. Just let me know, Michael at onemorethingbeforeyougo.com, and I'll have a link to it in the show notes as well. And one more thing before you all go, have a great day, have a great week, and thank you for being part of One More Thing Before You Go.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of One More Thing Before You Go. Check out our website at beforeyougopodcast.com. You can find us as well as subscribe to the program and rate us on your favorite podcast listening platform.